once again to the Holy Family Podcast. My name's John Reid, I'm the Pastoral Assistant, and with me I have Mary Kay Bowes, Director of New Evangelisation. And today we are welcoming to the podcast, but we also want to welcome you back to Mass, because as you probably know, we opened the church last month and Mass resumed. And we wanted to share some of our experiences from this month after reopening. One of the things that we took on during the lockdown was the task of calling parishioners just to check in and see how everyone's doing. And we had some wonderful conversations. We're still working our way through the list because we have how many?
Over 6,000 families.
Right, yes. So if we haven't called you yet, stay tuned. We'll hopefully get to you soon.
Please answer the phone.
Yeah. But yeah, we did have some wonderful conversations. It was great to hear about what people's experience was. But one of the things that we found really interesting is to hear about what people missed as a result of the lockdown. So Mary Kay, what were some things that people shared with you that they missed the most?
I know that a lot of people felt that real disconnect socially.
Right.
And it was about Mass, but it was also about, their children's teams or programs or all the usual things that you do that you're in contact with people. And that sense of community. People really spoke about missing being able to come to church and, see people they knew and be in community. But especially they really, really missed being able to come for Mass, being able to receive the sacrament, the Holy Eucharist, and just having that pause time in their week where you go somewhere else to be able to place yourself in the presence of God and pray in the presence of others. And that was something that people were really missing a lot.
Yeah, I heard that as well. It's like it's a weekly reset. It's it's an opportunity to take a step away from all of the troubles of life, the day-to-day, ongoing responsibilities and, whatever challenges people might be facing and just be with God. And we were so happy to have been able to offer the online Mass and we're happy that we're going to be continuing that for the foreseeable future. And we had so much good feedback about how people were really thrilled to be able to attend the online Mass, but for some people it just wasn't the same.
No.
And like you said, Mary Kay, a lot of it was down to receiving the sacrament, of course, but also that sense of community, that sense of connection. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a couple of people who I called who actually, I had the most wonderful conversation that lasted for 30 or 45 minutes, and it was as if I was the first person that person had spoken to all week. And it was just as enjoyable for me as well, because I felt the same, sitting at home and getting on with all of the tasks. And I think subconsciously I tried to convince myself that, that I was kind of okay and things weren't too bad. I'm blessed to, have a comfortable situation that it wasn't too bad, but there was something really, really, really nagging at me, and it was the community.
Yes. Yeah. And I think part of what kind of emphasized that for me as well was any time that I did come to the church and I had to use my key to get in because the doors were all locked.
Yeah.
And the lights are all off and there's nobody here and it's still and it's quiet. And it's like you can hear the echoes of community, but there's nobody here.
Yeah.
And so that kind of made me feel very strongly what I was missing about being with community in the church.
Yeah. And it lasted so long, it was almost 4 months, I think, in total, which was tough. And we were really working hard behind the scenes, trying to come up with different ways that people can stay connected to the faith, different opportunities for faith formation, for connection online, and we were so happy to see so many people participate in that. And then all of a sudden we got the green light that we were good to open. We had, I think, 4 days notice
I think it was 4 days.
But
Yes.
4 days notice.
Yeah.
And so we were surprised, but we were fortunate enough to have so many wonderful people and a lot of great resources from the Archdiocese of Toronto, but also from various other churches and organisations that we are connected to. And that really helped us to put in all of the proper planning and preparation to make sure that we could open but do it right, and create the experience that that we all love, but do so in a way that's safe. So Mary Kay, if you could maybe talk a little bit about that planning and preparation, what were the main things that made it happen?
Sure. Well, while we really only had 4 days notice that, okay, as of Friday, you can open, Wednesday, I think it was. We had been fortunate prior to that, over the weeks and weeks before that, to be part of different webinars and online meetings, where we were connecting with groups outside of not just our parish or our archdiocese, but even outside of the country, and being able to speak with people who were in places where they'd already opened their churches really helped a lot to get an idea of what to expect. And so while we felt in a bit of a panic, okay, what if they tell us we can open and we don't have everything all ready, one of the things we heard was that very naturally, probably only about a third of your parishioners are even going to come back. Just because people, they've been at home and may not be feeling sure as yet about coming back into the church.
We've got a lot of people in our parish who would consider themselves in the vulnerable category, and so obviously there's an extra level of concern there as well.
Yes, yeah. So through these webinars and meetings and direction from the Archdiocese, we really knew what we had to do to prepare. We reached out to volunteers and cleaning committee, figured everything out, got the information on the website, online, and we managed in pretty short order to bring it all together. One of the nice things too is that we started with weekday masses, which naturally have far fewer people. So it was easy to prepare and plan and welcome 25 people during the week, and kind of see how things went in order to be able to plan and prepare for the weekends.
Right.
So at this point, we're back to all of our regular mass times, both during the weekdays and the weekends. And we've got continuous sanitizing and cleaning happening, and great volunteers that are in place to make sure that this happens.
It's been really exciting as well to see people step up to serve and to be a part of this, and and we had people who put their name forward, and so you might call them official volunteers or leaders, and that was wonderful. But then it's been amazing to see how many people have just appeared.
Yes, at the end of Mass, when Father asks if anybody can stay to help, we usually have about 12 to 20 people who are going around cleaning things.
Yeah, because it's a big sanctuary. We've got I don't know how many pews, but space for like 600 or 800 people, or something like that. And so, we were a little bit concerned that with the regular mass times being only half an hour apart, that it might be difficult if we just have one or two volunteers to be able to fully clean and sanitize the church in time for the next mass. But actually, each mass we've had more like 10 plus volunteers, and so the whole thing is done in like less than 15 minutes.
Yes. Probably less than 10.
Yeah.
So, it's been good.
And so we have actually prepared a video that we're going to take a look at now, just to give you a sense of what Mass looks like now.
Yes.
And we wanted to show that we are taking all of the precautions and we're doing everything in a way that keeps everybody safe. But the overall experience of Mass is not actually really diminished. It's been amazing to see that despite the protocols.
Yes, yeah.
We're still here. We're still celebrating the sacraments. We're still the community of faith that we always were. So let's take a look at the video.
My life flows on in endless.
It's funny how people are quite naturally parking their cars away from each other as well.
Yeah, social distancing of
The
cars.
cars.
Yeah. You see there as well lines painted on the parking lot for the spacing when people are having to line up. But surprisingly, there's not really been a lot of lining up.
No, it's not too bad. When people have pre-registered, they just hand in their ticket, get their sanitizer, and head in. And then our greeters and ushers are there to welcome people and to help guide you to a seat that is open. You can see how the pews are taped off, the ones that are not to be used. And then even in the pews that we're using, there are there's tape to indicate how far apart you need to be. If upstairs becomes too full, then we can. The Mass is also being streamed in the hall, and people could be down there to participate.
No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging. Since Christ is Lord of heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing? My life flows on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the clear, though far off hymn that hails anew.
So you can see how many people are helping out, and there's going to be a few of them who registered to help out and signed up, but I think
Yes.
probably more people just responded to Father's request for some help after the Mass.
Yes, yeah. There is a button on our website for people to sign up on the schedule to volunteer, but Father always asks at the end of Mass, and usually a lot of people do come to help. Everything's provided. There's gloves, there's the cleaning cloths with the sanitizing spray. There's somebody to help direct, which section to do, and it's really just cleaning all the touch points so that we're sanitized before the next group of people come in.
Yeah, and just so you know, this video is on fast forward. They don't actually move that fast.
They're fast, but not that fast.
Yeah. All right, and then the people arrive for the next Mass, and everything is perfectly sanitized and safe. So that's what Sunday Mass is looking like now, and now we're just going to take a look at a few messages from our ministry leaders.
Hello, fellow parishioners. On behalf of the ushers, I would like to thank each and every one of you for your cooperation in allowing us to seat you during these difficult times. It is so nice to see all of you back again, and let's pray that this pandemic will be over soon and we can get back to some normal times again. We are seating the people in compliance with social distancing. We want to make sure that you are safe when you come to the church. We have one entry and one exit, 2 exit points. The exit points are by the sides of the altar on either side. If there's anything you need, please see one of the ushers. We're all wearing our badges now, and we'll be more than happy to look after you. God bless.
It's been a wonderful experience coming back after not being at Mass for 3-4 months, and it's a blessing we have here at our parish with giving us the comfort of all safety as we do this. So I encourage everybody, please bring your families and do come and come and join us whenever you can. So thank you and God bless.
I want to thank everyone for their patience and their forbearance with all the protocols and the precautions we need to take. They've been marvelous, really marvelous. Everyone has come prepared with a mask. They understand the registration process and the hand sanitizing, and it's gone very, very smoothly. And I want to reassure any parishioner out there who would like to come back to Mass that they can be assured that we are taking every possible step to provide a sanitary and safe environment. Everyone is very respectful of all the norms, the new norms, and please don't be afraid to come back. We want you back in church. We love to see you, and thank you. Thank you so much.
So we hope that video helped give everyone, if you haven't been to church yet, a visual of what to expect. Sometimes that's one of the greatest barriers, is just the unknown. So we hope that video helps with that and shows you that despite all of the protocol and the taped off pews and people wearing masks and the sanitizer and all of those things that we have had to change to prepare and provide a safe and sanitized environment, that really it's about welcoming the people, all of you, back into church, and to be able to celebrate as a community of faith.
And you can really see the joy in people's eyes, even though most people's masks are covering their face, unless it's one of those transparent face shields. You can see the joy, and we've had some really high points when it comes to that. I remember one parishioner came in on the first Sunday, did not expect for this to happen, but walked into the back of the church and immediately burst into tears because, they were overwhelmed, and like Mary Kay said, despite the protocols and the logistics and all of those things, those are essential, and those are what are keeping us safe. But the joy and the peace and the togetherness and the community, and we're in the house of God. It's the joy is not diminished at all. We're really thrilled to be able to say that.
Mm-hmm. Even during the lockdown, the odd time I'd come by the church and come out of the door and find some lovely parishioner, either standing in front of the church or up against the wall, just trying to be as close as they could to the church, to be able to feel close to the presence of God and to be able to pray. So please do check out our website. If you are deciding to stay at home, our masses are still live streamed. There are lots of resources on our website for different prayer opportunities, and our small groups are all online. We don't have any programs right now. Everything is finished at this point in the way of Bible study and other programs. And if you do decide to come to church, then please go to our website, holyfamilywhitby.ca, and you will see a button to register for the Mass. And on that page also, there's a lot of information and all of the resources that help explain why we have to do things the way we are doing them, and even some information for you to self-monitor and at home and just check that you're okay and to make that decision about coming to Mass.
Yeah, and in registration, some people have felt, the registration is not necessarily in keeping with the whole spirit of welcoming, and we definitely didn't want to do that, but with the physical distancing guidelines, we are limited to how many people we can have in church, and registration is the way to do that. But having said that, as you saw in the video, we have set up the hall downstairs to accommodate that overflow. So there's always going to be a warm welcome. There's always going to be all the safety protocols being followed. And we would love to welcome you back to Mass as soon as you feel comfortable.
All right, and we'll just finish with one lovely story that one of the ushers told me from yesterday. And it was a parishioner who came and right away went up to him and said that this is my first time back at the church and I am a little bit nervous. And so the usher right away took the parishioner, walked inside with her, showed her the pews, showed her the distancing, and then she happened to say, and I'm not sure about communion, how is that going to go? So he walked her up to the front and showed her where to stand and then stepped to the side and what it was going to be like. And that's what we're here for. It's
Yeah.
about the people coming back, and we hope no one would hesitate to ask or to express a need or a concern, and just allow us to be able to welcome and support you back so that you do feel safe and comfortable to be
Yeah.
in church.
We really are here to serve you, and even if you are thinking that you'd like to come back to Mass, but there's certain things that you're unsure about, even if you watch the video, you check the website, there's still things that may be causing you some concern, just give us a call. We'd be happy to answer any questions. We'd be happy to advise you as to which masses are, maybe kind of the least attended. We
Or come to a
should
weekday mass.
all come to a weekday mass. Yeah, the weekday masses. There's
Very small.
there's plenty of space for
Yes.
for mega physical distancing. The 5 p.m. mass on Saturday is reserved for those in the vulnerable category, and so that's something to keep in mind as well. But again, anything that we can serve you with and your family, that's what we're here for. That's what we're called to do. So we hope to see you soon, and until we do, God bless you.
Be safe. God bless.
Bye bye.